What's going on, everybody, man? Before we break off into this video, man, I want to thank each and every one of you guys for tuning in, man. And before we get right into it, man, make sure you guys hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn post notifications on, man, and drop a comment in the comment section as well. So I don't know if you guys caught on what I just did right there, but just like every other tutorial, we start out by either combing or laying the hair down with a brush. And in this case right here, I'm going up a lot higher in the fade than I normally would when it comes to lifting the hair off the scalp with the comb. And that's just off the simple fact, I didn't start this haircut, you know what I'm saying, another barber did. And this is okay, but this client right here doesn't like that disconnected fade look. They want the fade to actually be connected and flush to the top of his head where, majority of his hair growth is. And, me personally, man, I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm not really a fan of the disconnected look either, but you will have clients that come in and they specifically request that disconnected man bun or disconnected just fade in general. And as a barber, you got to be able to deliver. You know what I'm saying? And what we're doing right here is just setting our first initial guideline, which is our ball guideline. I go on with our style liner tools, and the method that I'm using right now, you can literally use this method to go in and setting that first initial guideline. If you're setting this initial guideline in with zero gap trimmer, I will advise that you tend to go to what I'm doing right now and turn the clipper upside down and scooping out and setting that first guideline, especially if you're beginning, because man, I'm not gonna lie, man, this is probably one of the first things that I struggled with as a barber, and that was getting that first initial ball guideline out. And I noticed when I go on with this method right here, like, I have way less of a fight and it's way easier for me to get out that first guideline. And being that I've been in the industry for a couple years now, man, I can set in my initial guideline the way I went in from the beginning. So just cleaning it up, man, keeping everything natural, consistent, man. And I know right there the fade kind of like it was lopsided. I think that's my camera, but you guys will see as we start to fade, it'll actually be symmetric. So right here, all we're doing, we're setting our initial panel, and what we're doing, we have the lever all the way open and just literally going up about a half an inch. I wouldn't say it's a complete inch, just off the simple fact I'm trying to save as much hair as I possibly can. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said in the beginning, it's a disconnected haircut, and my client whole objective is, and my entire goal is to give him connected hairstyle. You know what I'm saying? So just keeping everything consistent, man. And as you guys can see, after every few strokes, man, we go in, we brush, and what we're doing right now, literally picking up our style liner tools and starting to break that first initial guideline. And barbers, if you're struggling with getting any type of guideline, or whether it's a ball guideline or whether if it's a certain guard guideline, whatever the case is, man, just always remember, whatever you set in that first initial guideline in, or just whatever you set in that guideline, you can always take it out with the exact same tool. So what I'm doing right here is just breaking that line. So when I go in with my JRLs, I have a simpler and a smoother time getting that first initial guideline out. My JRLs, they are not zero gap, so this saves me a lot of time. This helps me in the long run. And right here, we got the lever all the way open, and we're starting to flick and nudge that line all the way out. And then we're on notch 2, and as you guys can see, the line is kind of pretty much already broken. You know what I'm saying? And from this angle, it actually looked like it's all the way out of there, but it's not. And right here, we're all the way closed. And I don't know if you guys, man, I've been tuned in for a long time, but if you're new, man, I always say this: the lower you are in your fade, the higher you want your lever to be. The higher you are in your fade, the more open your lever should be. So you guys will see what I mean as we continue to fade this haircut right here, especially since we're going to be connecting, the top to the sides and the top to the back, etc., etc. So just keeping it consistent, man. I know you guys probably can see a little teeny bit, man. It's still a little faint ghost line right there, and there's no need to panic or no need to worry about that whatsoever. We're going to follow that right back up with our style liner tools and get that line all the way out. And right here, we're on notch 2, keeping it consistent, man. And throughout this video, man, pay attention to every time I take the clipper off my client's head. And the reason I want you guys to do that is just off the simple fact, I'm switching levers. So I'm on notch 1, notch 2, notch 3, etc. So right here, we're just going in, like I was telling you guys, I got that faint ball guideline in. So I pick my style liner tools back up and we start to flick out whatever we have left of that initial ball guideline. But you guys can see from the process of me initially first breaking in line and coming back with my JRs, the line's pretty much all the way out. And we're just keeping it consistent, man. And that's one thing about fading, man. Fading is real tedious, and you got to be consistent with everything you do. And it's okay to have more than one fade technique, but you want to kind of have one fade technique that you already have down. So, you know what I'm saying? You're not just crazy, everywhere fading and just making yourself lost in your steps. You know what I'm saying? So right here we go with our number one guard all the way open. And we're going up by half an inch as well. And I want you guys to pay attention to the strokes that I'm using. I know it might look like in certain areas I'm keeping the blade flush, but when I get to about that half an inch mark, all I'm literally doing is flicking out. That way we can create some shape, keep some volume on his head, and you know what I'm saying, connect that fade the way we need to connect that fade. And like I said, when we was on that second step, you want to just make sure after every couple strokes, I'd say 2 to 3 strokes, man, you want to lay that hair back down with either a brush or a comb. And right here we go, keep that same number one guard all the way on, and then we want to come back with the lever all the way closed. And this is just literally like softening up that guideline right there so we can come back with our number 0 and try to blend the line all the way out. So you guys continue to watch, and man, I'll tap back in once we get on the next step. And right here, I throw on my number 2 guard. And I am setting the guideline, but at the same time, I'm not setting a hard guideline. If you guys remember, like I said in the beginning, the whole goal and objective of this haircut is to reconnect the top with the sides and the back. So I want to preserve as much hair as I possibly can. But at the same time, when I'm using my guard, I'm not only using it to set in a guideline. I'm using my guard to create shape and to, keep some volume on his head. So as you guys can see, I'm getting to basically the top of his occipital bone, and I'm starting to flick out when I get to, where his hair is a lot more dense at the top. And, so be mindful of that, young and upcoming barbers, man. Don't only use your guards just to set in a guideline. Use them to create shape as well, because the whole goal of fading somebody's head is that you want to give them a fade that complements their hair shape. So if you have a client with a square head, you don't want to start to fade them like you have a client with a round head, if that makes sense. So right here we got the same number 2 guard on, and we just got the lever all the way closed, and we're hitting up right under where we set in that guideline with the lever all the way open. And as you guys can see, especially from this angle, the fade is already starting to come together. Upcoming barbers, if you was a little confused what I meant by disconnected fade, you can kind of just look up to where I'm at right now and just look above where the clipper is not cutting. As you guys can see, like, it's a lot of growth that's hanging over top of the fade, and we're gonna get that together. We're gonna make it come together, man. Just keep everything consistent, and like I say, after every 2 to 3 strokes, you want to make sure you either brush or comb the hair back down. That way you can get a nice flush fade and a nice blurry fade. So you guys continue to rock out to the beat, man. My boy, he was in his duffel with this one, man. Shout out to my dog HBG Beats, man. Y'all go show him some love. Everything to, his information is all in the description. Right here we slap on our number 1.5 guard, and typically your 1.5 will fade pretty much flawlessly into your number 2, but in some instances, just like right now, it's not doing what I needed to do. So we're gonna continue to just blend it. And when I put on any type of 0.5 or any type of half guard, I'm not setting in a guideline. I'm literally just using that guard to connect to whatever guard I was fading into. And as you guys can see, I don't know if you were paying attention to this or not, the lever is all the way closed now. We're starting to nudge and hit right up under where we had that 1.5 guard on, all the way open. So y'all continue to rock out to the beat, man. I'll tap back in once we're on the next step. Now, I'm not gonna lie, with the 1.5 guard opening and closing it the way I was just doing, you could have got by. But if you want to take your cuts to the next level, pay attention to those little bitty details that, you know, other barbers look past. So it's a nice smooth transition for the most part, but I see a lot of dark spots that I don't like. So what I do to eliminate that problem, put my number 1 guard all the way back open, and we just use at the bare minimum 2T for the blade. At the bare maximum, use 4T for the blade. Do not use the whole blade because you will push your fade all the way up. And literally all I'm doing right here is fading with my eyes, and that just essentially means that any dark spots that I see that I know my guard can, you know, detail and lighten up, I'm gonna hit those areas. So like, if you got the lever all the way open and you see that it's not doing what you need to do, close the lever up a little teeny bit, you know what I'm saying? And you know, everything will work in y'all favor, man. The most important thing about fading and just haircuts in general is stay consistent. That's why I said in the beginning, man, make sure you guys find a nice fade system that works for you. And right here, we just slap on our number 1.5 guard with the lever all the way closed. We just detailing those dark areas. We want to lighten those up so he has a nice, smooth, and flush fade. And I know you guys just seen that. So if you made it this far, man, please hit that like button. Please hit the subscribe button. You know, I truly appreciate each and every one of you guys. So right here is the most vital part of the haircut. Literally, all I'm doing right now is connecting the top with the sides and the back. I start with my number 2 guard, and I believe my lever is all the way open, but it could be closed at this point in time. That's my bad for not showing you guys, you know, on camera. But like I always say, once the hair is cut, you can't put it back on. So always start with a higher guard, or either start with the lever all the way open and then close it up little by little. That way, you know, you can just get a feel for your client's head. And right here, we got our number 1.5 guard on. We're literally doing the same thing, starting with the lever all the way open. And now, as you guys can see, we flip the clipper all the way back into our fade motion and just cleaning up, doing some detail work, man. And staying consistent, man. That's, like I said, the main thing, man. Just make sure you guys stay consistent and just take your time for real. And as you guys can see, we got so much more of like a smooth haircut. It's not complete. It's not where I want it to be, but we're getting it together, man. So you guys continue to rock out, man. And once we get on the next step, I'll tap back in. This guard right here, man, was a guard that I struggled with early on in my career, and I still semi have like a love-hate relationship with it, just off the simple fact I don't feel like it does what I needed to do, but that's okay. We just got to learn to adjust and learn, you know what I'm saying, how to make it do what it do. So we started off with the lever all the way open, and then we follow up behind that and hit it with the lever halfway. And I don't know if you guys remember, in the beginning of the video, I told you guys the higher you are in your fade, the more open you want your lever to be. The lower you are in your fade, the more closed you want your lever to be. So we're back all the way open, but I don't know if you guys picked up on it. I had the lever all the way closed, and I was literally just detailing. And right now, I'm fading with my eyes. Any dark spots that I see, as you guys can see, I just went back to halfway. Any dark spots that I see that I don't like, we just detail it. Lever all the way closed, now it's back open. We're just detailing. But this is how and why I still have a love-hate relationship with this guard right here. You know, this is no disrespect to no other barbers in this industry that's on YouTube, social media, whatever the case is. But I feel like, you know, it's more of a persona like that zero, that half guard is going to eliminate and erase that line all the way out. And like, I know if I struggle with it, somebody else is bound to struggle with it. You know what I'm saying? So I like to kind of touch bases and, you know, give you guys the game, man, for real. So, like I said, the zero guard, the half guard is going to do its thing. It's going to soften that line up, but 9 times out of 10, you're going to have to come back with the lever all the way open, close the lever up a little bit, start to just fade with your eyes, and that's what's basically called a barber eye, and that's something that you will pick up over the years and over the, you know, time that you're in the industry. So don't press yourself and don't, you know, get frustrated. You know, just stay consistent, man, and just believe in your eye and just believe in what you see, and also utilize your mirrors, man. Your mirror's gonna tell you everything. So right here, man, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not a fan of cutting the front hairline all the way down like that. In this case right here, I didn't cut it down at all. We just keep everything natural because, like I said, my client whole objective is and whole goal is to keep, you know, the fade connected. He wants the top connected with the sides and the back. and as well as the front hairline. I know a lot of people, when they have braids, they love that, you know what I'm saying? But me personally, man, especially cutting into it, so deep and cutting it so low, I just don't think it's a good look, especially when it grows back in. So we're gonna make it do what it do, man, and just keep everything natural and consistent. The best advice I can give anybody for an edge up, man, is to apply little to no pressure whatsoever. Your trimmer is gonna be zero gap 9 times out of 10. So that means they're extra sharp. So you do not want to apply too much pressure, or else you end up scraping your client's skin. Leaving cuts, scars, whatever the case. That's never a good look for a barber. So use little to no pressure at all, and just keep everything consistent and have patience. The lineup is probably the most. I'm not even gonna say probably. It is the most important part of the haircut, because you can have a decent fade. Just like the areas I seen this fade right here is pretty blended. I'm not gonna lie, like this is probably one of my favorite cuts of this year, but it's still some dark areas and dark spots that I would like to come back and do what it do and clean it up to get a nice, blurry fade. But that's the beauty of recording your hair, because maybe you can go back and see what you should have did, and what areas you need to work on, and etc. So like I said, man, just keep everything consistent, be patient, and another key advice that I could give you, man, is literally whenever you set in that first initial line, do not go past that. It's cool to comb it like I'm doing right there, and anything that hangs over the line, you cut it off. That's how you get, a long lasting lineup, and you can essentially charge more for your haircuts the longer that they last. So just keep everything consistent, man, and be patient, and understand that not all your clientele is going to want enhancements, or want the magic pencil or anything in that nature. So be able to give a nice natural lineup, and I promise you'll see a lot of success in the barber industry, man. So y'all just continue to study, continue to watch out, man, for what I'm doing. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comment section, man. But y'all continue to rock out, man. I'll tap back in when I'm on the next step. And when it comes to lining up a client's beard, mustache, or just cleaning up their face as I'm doing right now, you want to apply the same rules that I told you guys when it comes to lining up, but you want to use even less pressure, because a person's face is typically more sensitive than their forehead or the edge up area. And don't be afraid to touch your clients, man. As you guys can see, I have my middle finger right here placed on my client's chin. And that just essentially is giving myself some type of line of boundary. So as you guys can see, my client is steady talking throughout the, edge up of his mustache. And being that I have my finger, placed on his chin, technically that's finger placement. I have control over my trimmer. So like he's talking now, I still have control over. I won't cut too deep in his mustache. I won't nick him. I won't do anything like that. You know what I'm saying? So just don't be scared to have some type of, line of boundary when it comes to edging up your client's forehead, mustache, beard, whatever the case is. So you guys continue to rock out, man, and just watch me do my thing, man, and I'll tap back in once we're on the next portion. Man, when it comes to using the razor, man, the best advice that I can give anybody, man, is to do whatever you got to do to get comfortable with that razor, man. Because listen, like I told you guys, enhancements, me personally, I love them. I'm not going to lie to you. They take the cut to the next level. But like I told you guys, the 90% of your clientele, they're not going to want enhancements unless you specify and just using enhancements. And that's okay, you know what I'm saying? But you're going to have the old heads, or you're going to have clients just like my client in the chair right now. He doesn't want enhancements. And, actually, like, I never offered it to him. You know what I mean? So as a barber, you still want to offer that service. But if somebody declines that they don't want, that specific service, that's cool. Because the razor is your best bet to get that enhanced natural look. You know what I'm saying? As you guys can see, it got that nice ash line, just like the Barber Magic Pencil. It adds that nice contrast to the skin. And you know what I'm saying? That's the best enhancement out here right now. I'm not going to lie to you guys, because at the end of the day, you're not adding a lot of preservatives, or you're not doing anything, with enhancements. You're literally just using a fresh razor blade and a razor holder and getting them in the game, you know what I mean? So literally stretch your skin, hold the razor at a 45-degree angle, and man, just practice, man. Like, whether that's getting a mannequin off of Amazon, eBay, getting a balloon, blowing it up, and putting some shaving gel on it, whatever you got to do to get yourself comfortable with the razor, just do it, man. Literally, I'm telling you guys, if you're not using the razor, you don't know what you're missing out on. Literally, you're missing out on extra money in your pocket and giving a longer lasting haircut, which is also ties back into more money in your pocket. You know what I mean? So, and it's not all about the money, but at the same time, as a barber, you want to be able to provide these type of services. Because I get new clients that call my phone, or referrals, or whatever the case is, and the first thing they ask me, do I use a razor? You know what I'm saying? And at the beginning of my career, I was very skeptical of using a razor, because you can literally cut somebody, you know what I mean? So just take your time, man, study, you know what I mean? Figure out your razor stroke angles, and do whatever you got to do to get comfortable with that razor, man. But this is the end of the cut, man. So listen, if you're new and you found anything in this video informative, or you just rock out with your boy, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, turn post notifications on, man. And this tutorial right here, I hope it was helpful for you guys to be able to learn how to reconnect a disconnected fade, man. So y'all be blessed, man. Stay safe out here. Until next time, we gone.